He's happy about getting a win, probably like any game. There's pluses and there's minuses. And thought we did a good job sharing the basketball to get 70% of your buckets to be able to be assisted. That's more a product of just how they play, but was happy about us moving the ball, being able to convert free throw opportunities, and 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. And then I thought we did a really good job on number two. He was coming in. If you look at the South Alabama game, he was 8 of 21 from three, and we really just needed to limit attempts, and he only ends up getting up 4 shots. We had to change some coverages with number 12, Amari Hamilton. He ends up getting 12 threes, but that was an in-game adjustment. You're obviously disappointed about the 39% rebounding rate for the opposition, but if you look, they had 9 in the opening two medias at the 12-minute mark, and then I think we hold them. They finished with 13, finished with 21 for the game. I think if you look the rest of the way, we're at 26%. So we had opening stands of those first two medias. I think they had 4 on one possession that we're really a work in progress. Thank goodness for Q tonight. He was terrific on the glass, and we needed every bit of him. But you can just tell right now, especially with teams that have a lot of girth, just we miss Ronnie DeGray, because now it ends up being a situation where you have Harlan and Corey, guys who are, not who do other things well, but they just don't have the girth necessarily to match up. And I thought from a rebounding standpoint, we were pushing more than hitting, and we need to hit rather than shove.
I was curious, to get your thoughts on the rebounding. Is it a nitpick to, in a 20-plus point win, or is it a concern?
No, you can't give up 40% and give yourself an opportunity to win. I think there's probably nothing more frustrating than to play 25 seconds of solid defense and then give a team an extended possession. And, doing that, it's a requirement by everybody. We saw a lot of long rebounds, and the shot radius is above the break. We kind of get it. And again, I think we had too many guys who just stood there rather than go in, because not everybody rebounds. So I didn't think some of it's on our guards. Some of it was just Harlan. This goes back to, you show a film of cornerbacks not turning their head to the basketball. And again, we're just trying to stand in front of people instead of move people. We've got to be better at moving people.
It seemed like that was like a big emphasis, coming out of the Florida game, and I'm sure you guys practice it. Does that make it even more frustrating when it
Absolutely.
translates?
Yeah. That's why we had to call the timeout when we did, especially early. They got 4 offensive rebounds on one possession, and we just needed to get guys in there who were better. I thought Joy did a good job, just sticking his nose in there, being able to keep his hands on basketballs. But again, for somebody to get 39% old boards, and I'm not telling you they're bad at it, but we're going to face better.
How would you grade the effort and the intensity and the focus tonight coming off that loss against Florida?
I would tell you from a flow perspective, I'd give it a B minus. I thought that there was people movement. I didn't think there was great ball movement. I think I counted 6 that happened that were non-paint threes, and those are, shots that it just doesn't translate. The math is not going to add up for you on those kind of attempts. From a personnel standpoint, I thought we were okay. I thought we did a great job on 2 and kind of knew what we were going in. I didn't think we stayed down on 15, and he was able to get shots. Knowing who we are as a shooting team, that's not going to be our bread and butter. We have to play a little bit faster, and I just didn't think our cutting was as sharp as it needed to be. And then I would tell you from a physicality standpoint, you're a D. So, yeah, not good.
What can a game like that do for A.G. McGinnis, to see finally see, more than one go through?
Yeah, no, you kind of knew going into this game that he was going to get an opportunity, and thus the extended minutes in order to put him in a position to be able to make shots. So he misses that first one, makes the second one. Then he turns around, airballs the third, makes the fourth. And I just, if you can get 50%, if you can get a 1.5 point per possession shot, you obviously take it. So he needs to shoot it. I didn't think there was any hesitancy. I thought he should have shot another one that he tried to pass to Q on a run that ends up being a turnover. So he needs to think shot. But, as I told him, you got to be more than a shot maker. You got to be a basketball player. There's other things we can do in the game besides just shoot. So sometimes that's shot faking, getting to the paint, what we would call P squared, like we're there to paint, to pass, and being able to go get paint touches out of P squared opportunity. So for the most part, I'm happy that he put the shots up that he did without hesitancy.
Coach, Quincy moved up to a tie for 7th on the all-time WSU blocks leaderboard tonight. What does it mean to have a shot blocker?
Yeah, you know what? If you look at our rim protection and shots around the rim when he's in versus when he's out, it's pretty drastic. I think there's a 22% difference when he's on the court versus off the court. You can't give up layups in this game and give yourself an opportunity. You have to be able to defend without fouling. He provides a lot of that, and we're going to have to work on everybody else. Some of it tonight was just botching reds and Mate not being over there. There was a X not being over there off of a pick and roll. So there were a number of opportunities, but when he's in the game, it's kind of like Ronnie. You don't realize Ronnie's value of covering up defensive mistakes until you really go back and watch the film. You don't see it. Quincy does the same thing, and I thought his presence, specifically in just the ability to rebound around that area tonight, was huge. But his rim protection is pretty vital for us, and we're going to need it moving forward. You can see, again, Monmouth is a good team, but you can kind of see what happens with no Quincy, no Ronnie, when we play teams that are pretty scrappy like that. So I'm happy for Quincy, 14-14. We'll need more out of him on Saturday.
How valuable is it to have a 7-footer that can shoot free throws like that too?
His credit, that's what he's done. I mean, he was 22% as a rookie. Then he was 33. Then he was 50. Last year he was 59. What would he finish 2 for 2 today? I know he was 72 coming into tonight, but you have to have a guy to be able to convert those opportunities. Otherwise, it becomes hack-a-shack, when you have a guy that size. So I really appreciate his commitment, and it's going to pay dividends for him.
Coach, coming back from the Invitational, 2 back-to-back games with kind of elevated stakes, do you feel like that kind of can take a toll on a team like this? I know you had a few days rest, but how do you feel like they handled it?
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily takes a toll, simply because, I think the quick turnaround, probably just being dialed in mentally on the things you need to do, maybe with a team that just physically is further along than you in regards to size. So I think that's probably a bigger issue, is I didn't think we were as mentally dialed in on personnel, and we didn't play with the sense of urgency that we needed to on Florida. Again, I thought we were okay. It's the physicality tonight. You realize that other team are going to have girth, and they had it, obviously. If you look, of their 21-0 boards, 11 of the 21 are by 0 and 15. But there's a difference between standing in front of a person and actually hitting a person. And I don't know how much of tonight had to do with that, but I do appreciate the urgency at which we attack personnel. Yeah, Bijan's been good. I thought he would get a little bit more dimes than what he's got. He's usually a pretty good passer. We just need Bijan to stay aggressive. Like, he needs to be aggressive. He needs to be a make or miss player. And you shoot the shot, we make it or miss it. You make the pass, make it or miss it. But we need to hit singles and not think home runs. I think he's had, if you go look at his career, I think he's now played 91 games in his career, maybe 90. But he's never had a game where he played more than 18 minutes and didn't turn it over. He's had 2 of those in the last 7. That's what he needs to continue to do. Stay aggressive. If there's opportunities to pass, do that. But let's make sure we're not trying to hit homers all the time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.